I started smoking pot when I was about 18. I was 19 when I met my husband. He kind of introduced me to oxycodone. I got in 2 car accidents back to back, and I went to a doctor. You have doctors that are called pain doctors. They go from prescribing nothing to prescribing a very powerful opioid. It turns into this beast you can't control. A lot of people turn to heroin because it is significantly cheaper. When you find something you like in that drug culture, you kind of stick with it.
Okay, do we have any aluminum foil?
It's a negative. John and I have been together now 10 years. He was my knight in shining armor, and then we slowly fell into addiction.
Yes, dear.
We split up for about 4 or 5 months when I went into rehab. I could feel a piece of me missing, but I was so broken outside of our relationship, there's absolutely no way he and I would have been good together.
In order for us to be the best version of ourselves, we had to worry about ourselves for a minute. That'll do.
After him graduating rehab and being there for the same amount of time, it allowed us to come back together as the people we were when we first met.
No, pour some more. I'll tell you when.
We're involved in family court, and my daughter is with my mom. She has been taken out of my husband and my custody for the time being. We're building slowly towards her coming and living with us.
My focus is being the best father, the best provider, the best person I can be. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for her.
We're still left with all the problems and the debt that we had incurred before we went into rehab, and then starting off trying to find a place to live, getting all the essentials, a bed.
Finding balance when it's so tilted.
Yeah.
You're still weighed down by your past, and here you are trying to balance everything out just because of the wreckage.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's really hard to find that balance right now.
But we manage. I used to tell him all the time, I'd ask him to tell me a story, just like that. I'd be like, tell me a story. And I'd sit there and I'd listen to him tell me. Jen has made this entire process bearable. She has answered my phone calls whenever I've needed her, whether she's in a meeting herself, if she's with her family, she'll step outside. She has been a constant in this flux. She's kind of helped me stay grounded, and if I needed advice, she's been there. She's an amazing person, that Jen.
So how was Christmas?
Christmas was difficult, not gonna lie. My mom at the last minute decided that she wasn't comfortable having John and I there because my sister and all of them haven't quite gotten to the point where they want to be around us.
You know, just because you guys are healing and your healing process and you're feeling good doesn't mean that they've let go yet. You know, and it's on them.
And that's, I think, the hardest part is I'm so eager to get back in touch with my family.
A lot of people want to heal those relationships and they don't really grasp that the other side isn't necessarily ready to heal or willing to heal right away. You can't force somebody to see you change. Part of letting go is letting go of your family to allow them to heal too. As hurtful as it can be, that's why we say build a support network, because other people have done this too. That's why we see them 3 times a week, to work on how they feel and how difficult it is. Part of getting sober is making a new family, sort of. At least you guys have each other, which is great because there's a lot of people alone, but you guys have each other, you know, and if you have positive people to spend, you know, holidays and stuff with, you know, that really helps.
Instead of sending my daughter to foster care or a foster home, my mom offered to take temporary custody of her so I could focus on myself and so John could focus on himself. She has been with my mom since I entered rehab, so it's going on almost 11 months that I haven't been around her.
Hey, you want your goldfish, huh?
I think my mom is uncomfortable with me having my daughter for a lot of reasons. I haven't been the most present mother. My mom has been her caregiver for almost her entire life because I was there but not there. I was using, I was getting high. I think my mom's extremely uncomfortable. She's not quite sure of my resolve. Addiction is not just about the addict, it affects the whole family. And it has caused my mom to be very distrustful of not only me, but of my actions.
Okay, let's go find Daddy.
I can't force it, I cannot pressure her. It'll end up causing more harm than good. My intentions for this scenario, as far as staying clean, having my daughter, having a relationship with my mom, having John have a relationship with my family, and having that family unit be whole. That's what I want out of all of this. I have court for the shoplifting.
The incident.
The incident. In rehab, I fell into a group of girls who was stealing from different stores. I ended up taking quite a few articles of clothing from Target, and they got me for shoplifting. I made a really bad decision, and I'm human. I know what's going to happen, but it was just...
You're in rehab, so it's like a bunch of... I mean, in rehab, you're all there together, so no decision-making process has been positive so far.
Right.
To meet people in treatment. It's really common when you stop doing something you're used to doing all the time, and you're looking for things to fill the void. Without drugs, you look for some kind of excitement, and
right.
Sadly, breaking the law is exciting because you're kind of used to doing that in a sense. You know, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of true at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it uncommon that somebody would go out and do something like that, you know, with 3-4 weeks clean and sober? No, actually, it's not.
Mm-hmm. My main concern was how is this going to affect my getting my daughter back? That is paramount. Anything and everything to do with her is paramount in this situation, and I'm terrified. Terrified. My greatest fear is going on probation and losing my job, and then in turn having this family court process drag out even longer. That means more time without my daughter, and that means falling back into a depression. That means a greater chance of relapse, and that's not something I'm willing to allow to happen.
Michelle Gonzalez Paulson, now presiding. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. May be seated. The first case being called is Allison Norland.
Good afternoon, Judge.